The Sri Lankan Prime Minister is speaking. Let's have a listen to what he's got to say.
There seems to have been foreign involvement. They feel that some of them have travelled abroad and come back. There may be more than that. That's what we want to find, and that's why we've asked for assistance on this issue. Some countries anyway have to conduct their own investigations because their nationals were killed in this blast. Yes, I am in touch with the relevant officials as to what happened. Well, they have inquired into it. The President has also launched an inquiry as to why the information did not reach my office.
Do you think that these attacks were preventable? And if so, who has blood on their hands?
If it was known, certainly we could have prevented many of the attacks in the churches and had more security in the hotels. We could have prevented all the attacks, or at least reduced the number of attacks that would have taken place. Police are making certain number, but I don't think it should be disclosed now. What? So far, it's been Sri Lankan citizens who have been taken in for questioning.
Not Assyrians?
What?
Not Assyrians? There's been reports of Assyrians?
No, at the moment it's all Sri Lankan citizens.
And do you believe as well that the attack was in response to the Christchurch massacre? Or is that just an excuse that's being used to maybe deflect attention away from blame that's being focused on your government for the failure to prevent the attack?
The attack is one of the reasons. It's possible it could have been because of the Christchurch attacks. We cannot say yet. I think the police, once they question, will say so. We will be able to find out. That's what we are searching for. They've been out there, so they may have gone to one destination and gone in from there. This is the assistance that we are requiring. You know, you can meet people in any part. You can meet them in London. You need not go to the Middle East. This is a small breakaway group, and the links are being there. All these issues have been raised, but we can't tell you immediately, definitely with whom they've had links.
Do you know for certain that they did go overseas? If so, to which countries did they go?
What?
Do you know for certain that the suspects did go overseas?
They've gone overseas. We have the details, so we are checking that up with the foreign help that we are having.
The alleged leader of this group that the government has said was responsible for these attacks made a series of videos over the years, and the Muslim Council says they approached the government, warning the government of the risk that this group and this individual posed. Why was nothing done, or what was done?
That's one of the issues to be inquired, but they had given it to the police, the relevant authorities.
Do you know if that man, Mulvi Zahran Hashim, do you know if he was one of the suicide bombers, or is he still on the run?
Yeah, he is suspected to be one of the suicide bombers. They have to confirm it.
And have you identified all of the suicide bombers, and how many of them were there?
Well, many of them have, some more have to be identified.
Sorry?
Many of them have been identified, but not all.
How many was it 6 or 7 suicide bombers?
Let's have a question mark over that.
And do you believe that other suspects are still on the run, or do you think you've got everybody?
Well, they are still looking out at who else is involved, because inquiries lead to other names.
Mr. Prime Minister, could you give us a sense of the timing of these attacks, and also, what exactly could you give us about the time of the protest, which is 10 years after the end of the Civil War?
Well, that is one issue that's over. And now we've got another issue here. It's like Northern Ireland is over in UK, but you've got other terrorism going on. Now, if you're going in for churches, this is the best time from their point of view. When the churches are crowded, Easter service is in the morning. There are no night services on it. Easter is basically a morning service that everyone attends, and then they must have timed it with the branches, which was also taking place. I don't know. There is only a speculation that people have, but timing and look at the maximum participation.
Points to a larger aspect, Mr. Ranil. So you came with a huge mandate in 2015,
Yes.
and that was for people voted for change. And I'd like to ask why, even after 10 years of the end of civil war, minorities in this country still face all various forms of discrimination. And what has this government done?
I think that many of the issues among the minorities have been resolved. All reports have been to that issue. I don't think it's otherwise. If you look at the Human Rights Commission reports and others, and also the people are working together with each other. Now look at when this explosion took place, how all the religious leaders came out and said, look, let there be calm. You found the Venerable, the Mahanayakas issuing the statements, then certainly the senior Muslim ulemas and the ministers met with the Cardinal. Cardinal himself has asked, and I must say, yesterday night and on Saturday night, Sunday night and Monday night and today at the funerals, calmness prevailed in those areas. I think that shows the type of responsibility. The government will continue its policy of having unity in the country and of having religious groups getting together while cracking down on the global terrorism. I must tell you that we'll crack down on global terrorists do not belong to any faith. They have their own interpretation of what their faith is, and we can't allow that. But there certainly has been a big improvement in the country's relations between the different communities and different religions. We just want to maintain it that way here.
Sorry, what sort of repercussions will there be for the people that failed to pass along this intelligence?
Well, once it comes down, we'll decide what we could do, but it has to be administrative and all, what they have done, some will have to be removed from their posts. So that's
And there are concerns that these emergency measures will be used to intimidate or harass minorities.
It's only on terrorism, and so far we have met with I met with all the the main party leaders in Parliament, including former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and Mr. Sambandhan. Those are question marks. Everyone wants is wiped out, and if there's any issue, they said they will raise it. We have members in the cabinet, Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims. Why is it that a country that is faced with terrorism is now accused of persecuting its minorities? We have exact, very good relationship, and the relationship was shown in the last few days. It's being unfair by us.
Sorry, there were further warning on any further attacks. What are the government doing about that?
No, we are trying to prevent any type of attacks. It may have been that they have planned a series of attacks, and police is working around the clock, and the armed forces to ensure it doesn't take place.
Mr. Wickremesinghe, how much have the tensions between yourself and President Sirisena come to play in the kind of safeguarding of information each to his own and not coming to everybody that needs to know?
Well, I am only not telling you certain things which they don't want me to disclose.
No, but what about the
I met the president, I spoke to the president the day it took place, and we agreed, we recommended the police curfew, and the armed forces come out, and we discussed this on Monday and decided to bring the emergency in for certain purposes, only limited purposes. We had a meeting and said, we have difference of opinion, but that's been thrashed out, and somehow, look, we've got to get the country out of this problem. I don't think we can start putting personal issues in front.
But your statement right after it happened said that as Prime Minister, you or no one in your cabinet had been
No, that was that. Because this issue was raised anyway by some other Christians and others. Why wasn't the Minister of Christian Affairs involved? Why wasn't he informed? So I just dealt with that. I said, we have to look at that. There is a breakdown of security. That's why the President has appointed a committee. Then we also said that includes the ministers, including me, not being informed. But I said our priority is, while we inquire, our priority is to apprehend the offenders, and ensure that this group is caught and it doesn't spread. So priority is still in apprehending the offender. Whatever we have, we'll have to discuss among ourselves and sort it out, that's all.
Your government said that 32 Sri Lankan Muslims voted to join Islamic State in Syria back in 2016. Do you know, have they come back? Have they?
Yeah, some of them have returned, and some were killed there, some have returned, and the intelligence have been following them.
But are they suspects in this attack?
Well, they think one or two of them have been, some of them have been out there, not all. All those are returned are not in that list here.
So can you explain why the government blocked WhatsApp and Facebook, and how long will those?
Well, we consider that tomorrow, as far as we are concerned. We think. No, in the first day or so, to ensure that there was communal harmony. We went through this exercise earlier in Digana. We didn't want to take another chance.
Mr. Prime Minister, Smita Sharma from India, TV9 Bharatwaj. I'm sorry if this question has already been repeated, but are you convinced with the claims that have been made by the Islamic State that they are behind these attacks? And do you see a direct link between the, between the Jamaat organization that we're talking about and the ISIS?
We, certainly the security apparatus is of the view that there are foreign links, and some of the evidence points to that. So if when the ISIS claimed it, we will be following up on this claim. There was suspicion that there were links with the ISIS.
Prime Minister Geeta Mohan from India today just wanted to know whether if there was prior intelligence shared with the Sri Lankan government from Indian authorities with regards to jihadi terrorism.
There has always been sharing of intelligence between our two countries in regard to terrorism.
Was there specific intelligence on this?
There was specific intelligence on this.
You mentioned one group, National Tawhid Jamaat, but the State Minister for Defense mentioned another group that may have been involved.
That's also being investigated. That's what he repeated. There's some investigations are underway on this other group.
And what group is it?
Let the question stand as it is now.
Is it a local group or a foreign group governance?
Can you give a sense of how big it is? How long are they?
I lost my voice.
Like
Maybe afterwards.
How many members are there in the Tawhid?
That's being looked into. It's not a large group, but still we are concerned. It's not a large group, I said.
And the UK government is also...
And there are peripheral members, and there are the ones who are at the hardcore suicide movement.
The UK government offered assistance to Sri Lanka. Have you accepted that? Have you requested assistance from Britain?
The Britain said they were giving assistance. There were British citizens who were killed. So that team has come down here.
Is there any specific international assistance that you're looking at, even in terms of the Indian cooperation? The Prime Minister had a telephonic conversation.
We've been cooperating. That's why they gave us some very specific intelligence. The US, President Trump has also offered help down here. So there are some of the teams that are coming in here.
Why was more security not offered to churches ahead of this attack?
Pardon?
Why was there not more security at churches ahead of this attack?
This is what we are inquiring into. Some areas there were. Some areas the police were active and the security was there.
Well, that was the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe. We'll be keeping track of what he says throughout the afternoon here on Sky News, saying there that some of the bombers had travelled abroad, or suspected bombers, and also making the point there that he thought the attacks at the weekend were in response to the Christchurch mosque attack. As I say, more on that throughout the afternoon here on Sky News.